When I first met you, I found myself in a place I had never been before. It wasn't just about meeting someone new, it was about being faced with an energy that unsettled me in the most unexpected way. I've always been aware of the charm I possess and the natural magnetism that seems to draw people toward me. My looks, my success, and the ease with which I navigate the world have long been things I could rely on. I knew the effect I had on people. I was confident, sometimes overly so, and I took quiet pride in how easily I could attract attention, command a room, and get what I wanted. Life, for the most part, had bent in my favor, and I had grown used to that rhythm of things falling into place. But when you entered my life, everything shifted. Suddenly, the certainty I had always carried began to crack. I desired you deeply, in a way that felt raw and unfamiliar. Yet, for the first time, winning someone over wasn't effortless. I couldn't charm or reason or strategize my way into your heart. You stood your ground, unwavering and unmoved by the usual ways I tried to connect. It hit me harder than I could have imagined. My ego, something I had always worn like armor, was bruised, and the sting of it was unlike anything I had ever felt before. For the first time, I was confronted with the truth that not everything or everyone could be swayed by my confidence, my looks, or my charm. It was humbling. It was unsettling. But more than that, it was transformative. That realization forced me to slow down and see you not as someone to win, but as someone to understand. You were unlike anyone I had met before. You carried yourself with a quiet power, a confidence that didn't need validation. You didn't chase attention, yet you naturally drew it in. There was something magnetic about your presence, something that made me want to know you beyond the surface. You are truly remarkable, a perfect blend of strength and gentleness. You possess a rare balance of masculine and feminine energy, moving between them with a grace that feels almost otherworldly. You can be warm and nurturing, radiating kindness, compassion, and patience, but when the moment calls for it, you stand firm and unshakable. Your strength doesn't need to be loud, it simply is. And that quiet power is what draws me to you again and again. You are, to me, like a lone lioness, fierce and independent, yet graceful and caring. You walk your own path, guided by your own principles, unafraid of solitude and unbothered by the expectations of others. Before you, I was accustomed to relationships where I held control. I was used to leading, to being the one whose presence dictated the tone of the connection. I thrived in situations where I felt in command, where my confidence created the rhythm of the relationship. But you were different. You refused to be tamed. You didn't seek control, nor did you surrender it, you simply were. You valued your freedom and independence as deeply as I valued my sense of power, and that balance between us created a tension I couldn't ignore. At first, it confused me. I didn't know how to navigate someone who couldn't be swayed by charm or influenced by material things. You were grounded, self-assured, and unwavering. You didn't need validation or reassurance to know your worth. You had your own voice, your own mind, and you stood in your truth with a conviction that was both intimidating and awe-inspiring. You had been raised to think independently, to question, to feel deeply without losing yourself in the process. I wasn't used to that kind of strength, not from someone I was drawn to. Meeting you was a revelation, one that forced me to look inward and confront parts of myself I had long ignored. You challenged everything I thought I knew, about attraction, about relationships, about power and vulnerability. With you, I began to realize that love wasn't about control or winning. It wasn't about who led and who followed. It was about understanding, balance, and the courage to show up fully, even when it meant being vulnerable. Our connection became something far more complex than I had anticipated. It was a clash of wills, a battle of egos, but also a dance of growth and understanding. At times, it felt like fire meeting water, contradictory yet undeniably intertwined. We pushed each other, tested each other, and in doing so, uncovered parts of ourselves that had been hidden. You forced me to confront my vulnerabilities in ways no one ever had. You saw through the walls I had built, the layers of ego and pride I had used to protect myself. You didn't try to break me down, instead, you stood firm, holding space for me to unravel on my own. It was uncomfortable, painful, even, but necessary. In your presence, my false confidence began to fade, and what remained was something more real, more grounded. You made me see that strength isn't about dominance or control, it's about authenticity, humility, and the courage to be seen for who you truly are. And in turn, I found myself drawn to your strength and independence in a way that felt both humbling and inspiring. There's a beauty in the way you stand on your own, unafraid to walk alone if it means staying true to yourself. You've taught me that love doesn't have to mean possession, it can be freedom, respect, and partnership in its purest form. You've shown me that it's possible to be strong without being hardened, to be independent without being distant, and to care deeply without losing yourself in the process. This journey with you has been nothing short of transformative. It hasn't been easy, if anything, it's been a mirror reflecting everything I needed to face about myself. You've challenged me to grow, to rethink the way I view connection and intimacy. There were moments of frustration, when my ego wanted to resist, to reclaim the control I once had. But those moments were always met with your quiet strength, your patience, and your unshakable sense of self. You didn't yield, and because of that, I learned how to surrender, not in defeat, but in acceptance. Now, when I look at you, I see more than just the person who changed me. I see a force of nature, someone who carries both fire and calm, both tenderness and resolve. You've become a mirror for my evolution, a reminder of what it means to truly grow. No matter how complicated our connection becomes, I know I'm better because of it. You've opened my eyes to a deeper kind of love, one rooted not in power or pride, but in respect and vulnerability. You've shown me that real connection isn't about conquering someone's heart, it's about standing beside them, learning from them, and allowing them to teach you what your pride once refused to see. For that, I am deeply grateful. You've shifted my perspective, challenged my beliefs, and redefined what strength and love mean to me. You've become both my challenge and my peace, my awakening and my calm. And no matter where this journey takes us, I will always carry the imprint of your presence, the woman who changed the way I see the world, and the man I'm becoming because of you. My love, sometimes I wonder if you secretly took a course on how to love someone so deeply and make them feel so cherished. You do it so perfectly that it feels like you hold a master's degree in love and compassion. Every gesture, every word, every little thing you do seems to come from a place of pure understanding. You have this incredible ability to reach into my soul and touch the parts of me that even I didn't know needed healing. It amazes me how effortlessly you make everything feel right, how naturally you seem to understand what my heart needs even before I do. I often think about how deeply you understand me. You seem to know what's going on in my mind without me ever having to say a word. Sometimes, I start to explain something, and before I can finish, you already know what I'm trying to say. You read me like a favorite book, familiar yet still exciting. You understand the entire story after hearing just a few lines, and that has always left me wondering how you do it. Now, I think I know your secret, it's your heart. It's so pure, so patient, so full of love that it tunes into others naturally. You've always had this beautiful empathy, this quiet intuition that allows you to see through people's pain and bring them peace. When life gets hard or something disturbing happens, you are the calm in the storm. You remain composed, gentle, and grounded, while everyone else struggles to find their footing. You have this strength that doesn't come from being loud or forceful but from being steady, understanding, and kind. You manage to console people in their most difficult times, and you do it so sincerely that it feels like the world becomes a little lighter after speaking with you. When you hug me, it's as if the universe stops spinning for a second, and everything wrong suddenly feels right. There's no safer place on earth than being in your arms. When your eyes meet mine, and you smile that quiet, knowing smile, I can feel my heart skip a beat and warmth rush through my entire being. And then there are those small, tender moments, the ones that mean everything. When you feed me with your hands, something inside me melts. My eyes well up, not because of sadness, but because of the overwhelming love I feel in those little acts. You have a way of showing love that is both gentle and powerful. You always seem to know what to do, when to do it, and how to do it perfectly. I find myself wondering how someone could be so in tune with another person. It's as if you were born knowing how to love me, as if the universe designed you with me in mind. If you haven't taken any course in this lifetime, then maybe you took it in your previous ones. Maybe your soul has been practicing this kind of love for centuries. I can't think of any other explanation for how you manage to make everything so effortlessly beautiful. Sometimes I even joke to myself that you must have divine help, because no ordinary person could love with such depth and understanding. Your love feels sacred. It feels like a blessing I must have earned from a lifetime of prayers. You have healing hands, my love. When you touch me, all my pain, worries, and fears fade away. When you tell me everything will be okay, I don't just hear it, I believe it with my whole heart. You make me feel safe in a way that no one else ever has. When you hold my hand, I feel as though nothing in the world can knock me down. Your energy surrounds me like a shield of love and comfort, and in your presence, I feel cherished beyond measure. You've given me a new life, one filled with hope, laughter, and dreams. Before you came into my world, I was adrift, feeling empty and lost. I didn't realize how gray my life had become until you painted it with color. You brought light into my darkest corners and taught me how to smile again. Now, I am one of the happiest people I know, and it's all because of you. You've given me the courage to believe in love again, to believe in myself again. I am so grateful to the universe for sending you into my life. You are the answer to every unspoken prayer, a gift that I will never take for granted. You are, without a doubt, God's blessing for me. I see His love reflected in you every single day. And I promise, with all my heart, to always take good care of you, to love you with the same gentleness and devotion you show me. Every day with you feels like the best day of my life. The mornings are brighter, the nights are calmer, and everything in between feels filled with joy. When I walk, there's a little jump in my step. My face is always painted with a smile that refuses to fade. The world looks softer, kinder, and more beautiful because of you. You've turned my life into a lovely shade of pink, warm, joyful, and full of love. I wish I could show you how deeply you've transformed my world, how much brighter and lighter everything feels because of your presence. I love you, my heartbeat, my comfort, my goodness. Every time I look at you, I see something new to adore. You are so irresistibly cute that sometimes my heart can hardly take it. You are my peace, my home, my miracle. You've taught me that love doesn't have to be loud or dramatic, it can be quiet, steady, and pure, just like you. I thank the stars every night for bringing you to me, and I pray that I can be for you even a fraction of what you are for me. You've made me believe in the magic of love, in the beauty of connection, and in the power of a kind heart. You are, and always will be, my greatest blessing, my sweetest joy, and my forever love.